So, today I'm going to talk to you about entrepreneurship and how you can start to view entrepreneurship. And I'm going to give you some helpful mindsets and advice that I think will help you when you're first starting off, and just give you some perspectives from what I've learned through my past couple years of being on this path of entrepreneurship. So before we begin, my name is Michael, and I help young men in their early 20s start to clear up their free time and replace that uh, replace that free time with entrepreneurship. So you can click on that link in the description if you'd be interested in that. So when I was younger, I was obsessed with golf, and golf was a sport that helped me in like a lot of tough times. It was that thing that I always told myself I would be a pro golfer, and like that was going to be my thing. I always had this feeling like I'm going to be successful, and like I put a lot of hours into that sport, and I just did it because I it was fun. I the reason I really liked it was because it helped me when things were like chaotic in the house. It helped me. All I had to do was go outside, take my golf club, and start practicing. And I could just focus on that one thing. So it was a healthy distraction for me. And I I had that mindset that I was going to be a pro golfer pretty much until my first couple years of college. And I played throughout college, but I started to like get that feeling that maybe I'm not going to be a pro golfer. Like maybe it's just for the like select individuals. Maybe they're different than I am. And so I started to kind of like give up on that goal, and I started to like just accept what life actually is. Life is, you go to college and you get a good job and you choose a nice career and you have your degree so that it can look good on resumes, so you can be fairly paid throughout your career, and it will look good for employers. And so it was my junior or senior year when I just started realizing that that was the path that I was going to be taking. And I sort of just dropped this idea of like becoming a pro golfer. I started to, instead of using my time to play golf, I would just start working more. I worked long hours at this job, and the reason I was doing that was because like I realized, or I was a hard worker, but I realized like that was like my new life. Like I had to kind of accept that getting a good job and graduating college was the new path. And it was a painful time. It was a painful period because, everybody else was like talking about what they're gonna do. People seemed like they knew exactly what they were gonna do after college. Oh yeah, I'm in cybersecurity and I'm gonna work for this company. I'm in software and I'm gonna work for this company. And people ask me what I was gonna do, I always like was like, oh, kind of still figuring it out. And it always felt like just I always felt like embarrassed, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I started learning about self-improvement and I just started consuming a bunch of that content about self-improvement and just the idea of improving your life. And that was that was like that started to like break some beliefs for me because the self-improvement content I was consuming was talking about like getting fit, getting a six pack, getting making more money, being more healthy, entrepreneurship. It ended up turning into like me watching entrepreneurship content, but it did first start as me learning about working out, me learning about health and just like developing better habits, meditating. And so this was like a new thing for me. I was like, maybe there is like, maybe I don't have to accept this path of like getting a good job and accept the path of like working this job my whole life. I started to learn that I can improve myself. Like I can get better at certain things. I can become that guy that goes to the gym every day. And so like it was a long process, obviously. I was still I'm pretty sure, my junior and senior year when I was watching a bunch of self-improvement content, I was still eating like a bunch of fast food, still laying around, still doing like the regular things. But yeah, it was at least like it was at least something that I could start focusing on because I always had this obsessive mindset. When it was golf, I obsessed over that thing. Now, when it was self-improvement, I could focus on that. I can focus on self-improvement. So that started becoming an addiction. And then that led me into learning about making money. And that was pretty exciting. Started learning that like sales might be a good route. And so I ended up getting a sales job while also still like learning about self-improvement. And, the more I learned, the more I realized that entrepreneurship is the way to actually go if you're looking for success and freedom, or at least that's what it felt like for me. So I was like, whoa, I don't have to be a pro golfer to be successful. I can be successful in this new area. And so I kind of just like hooked onto that. And, like I feel like I'm kind of at the point now where I feel like it is possible to make $30 million. Dollars. It's going to take probably 10 years, but I feel like it's possible. And like what I'm saying is that there was a period where I lost hope and felt like, the regular career, regular way of life is the thing that I had to accept. There's a period of that to now I feel like I don't have to accept that. And the way I got to this point was through learning about entrepreneurship. I ended up starting my first business, which I didn't make money at, but I learned more about business. And so my other point is that if you have a passion or you have something that you're obsessed with, you can now replace that with entrepreneurship. Because entrepreneurship isn't this one thing of business, it's this like way of life. It's this like what I think it is sort of like a path to success. And like I said, like for me before, I thought that success was becoming a pro golfer. Success now for me is a lot of money, but it might be different for you. Whatever it is, like entrepreneurship is a path to like where you want to go. So that's kind of how I view entrepreneurship now. I view it as a sport, and it's pretty cool because it's like sports are fun. And so when you develop this mindset that it's a sport, you want to get better at the sport. If it's golf, the way that you get better at the sport is lowering your strokes. The goal is to shoot the lowest score possible. In entrepreneurship, the goal is to make a lot of money, make the most profit. And so it's more so like a game. And also the game of making your customers happy, which makes helps you make more money. So that's one thing that I really wanted to talk about is just how you can view entrepreneurship. You can view it as a sport. If you were a sports player growing up and you had this favorite sport and you've kind of lost that passion, you can now use this as your new sport. It's a it's a mental sport. It's a more so of a strategy sport, but you can now view it as that. So that was the main point I wanted to make. And then just some other helpful mindsets that will help you in entrepreneurship is that because it's a sport, you want to be good at it. And the way to be good at it is by making a lot of money. And the way to also be good at it is to learn. It's like say you just started working out and you knew nothing about working out. Well, the way you would get better is by watching content. The way you would get better is by like observing other people working out. So you just learn. And it's the same with entrepreneurship. Another thing is that because it's a sport, you have to train. You have to train your mind and you have to train your body. And the person who trains the most is going to be a pretty good competitor. So start training and getting good habits, like getting good sleep habits, eating healthy. And then the last thing that I just wanted to talk about is just this mindset of being a producer. So a way that can help you do this is by observing everything that you buy. If you're at the grocery store and you buy a lotion, start asking yourself, like, why do you buy this certain lotion? Is it because of the price? Is it because of the deal? Is it because of the packaging? Like, what made you buy this one over another product? Same thing if you buy like digital products. Why did you buy digital products from certain influencers? What made you trust them? And start putting yourself in the position of the producer. So if you can start to view entrepreneurship as a sport and a new path to success, then I think it will help you stay committed and help you enjoy it a bit more. And if you can start to view making money as part of the game of entrepreneurship, part of the sport, then I think it will be a healthier mindset. And then train, keep your habits good so that you can be better at the sport, keep on learning so you can be better, and start to transition into the mind of a producer. So hopefully these things help and maybe you can relate a little bit if you feel a little bit lost now and don't know what to do with your career. Hopefully this can help you a little bit. So yeah, again, check out that link in the description if you want to learn a little bit more about that and hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching.